It's showtime.
Hey, welcome to Did You Watch Survivor Last Night? My name is Jake Shadell. This is a podcast about reality television and friendship in which I ask my best friend Thomas Powell if he did indeed watch a certain reality show. Hey, Thomas, how are you on the first day of summer 2019?
As we all know, if it's warm out, that means it's summer.
That's a scientific fact.
It's a thing that I think and does not annoy me.
Yeah, I mean, my window is open as I'm recording this, so any background noise is that because it's finally summer. We've had 9 months of winter. It's finally summer for at least the next 3 days here in Chicago, Illinois. You doing all right there in Grand Rapids, Michigan, Thomas?
Yeah, we're doing just fine up here.
Have you found that you often get the same weather that I get here, but like 2 hours later?
Not really, no.
No, do you not follow both Chicago weather and West Michigan weather at the same time? Is that a thing that only I do?
Yes.
Well, that makes sense. Based on my living arrangement. Hey, Thomas, did you watch Survivor Edge of Extinction last night?
Just like the wide-winged dove sings a song, sounds like she's singing. Ooh, ooh.
Jake, not only did I watch Survivor Edge of Extinction, I watched it twice because it was
Again,
2 episodes.
Again, you did not. You watched one episode in which 2 eliminations occurred. We have been over this time and time again.
I watched 2 episodes of Survivor, and let me tell you, it was great. Both episodes, A+.
2 very short episodes of Survivor run back to back in the same time slot. This single episode was called Blood of a Blindside. Pretty good episode title, I think.
Yeah, not bad.
Despite it being from somebody I don't like.
I mean, that'll happen sometimes.
I feel like that happens a lot. Why is it that everybody who makes good episode titles ends up being somebody I don't like?
Yeah, why are people I don't like allowed to say episode titles?
Yeah, the only people who should be allowed to say episode titles are me and you, Tommy Pow. Never gonna call you Tommy Pow
people
again.
Are always calling me.
In high school, we called Thomas Tom McPowell for a good 3
Well,
years, and
no.
it made him very mad every time.
Not even frequently, and only like you and maybe one other person.
They were like,
And
at
I
least
wasn't
10
mad. I
every
was
month.
actually laughing. It was very funny to me.
Yeah, good, because that was the joke. It was to make you laugh.
Yeah, I wasn't mad.
It was funny. It was a funny
It
bit
was actually,
that we did.
not mad, just laughing. That's what I always say.
Yeah. Okay, so War Dog creates an alliance of himself, Ron, Gavin, Wentworth, Lauren, and Julie, and the 6 of them target Aurora because why not? She seems to be the go-to every single episode. War Dog says it's amazing how these people imploded, speaking on the Kama people, and then Aurora believes her game is over at this point. How did you feel about Aurora at this point, Thomas?
I was feeling pretty good, maybe even confident.
You don't like Aurora.
No, I don't. She's
I
an
don't
incompetent social player.
I don't dislike her, but I have no reason to like her either. You know?
She's my least favorite kind of player, which is someone who manages to hang on through physical challenges even though they're really, really bad at the social element.
I was thinking today, or at least since this last episode, I think Aurora will be a 3rd place finisher. I think everyone will see her moving forward as a GOAT, and we'll just take her to the finals, because she's not really aligned with anybody who will ever be voted out. You know?
Maybe. I still think she's going to get eliminated.
I guess we'll see. Okay, then we go straight into the first immunity challenge. They have to crouch while balancing some poles on their shoulders. But if they want to, they can opt out for a, quote, mountain of pizza.
Delicious. Pizza Mountain. Finally, we got some pizza.
Yeah, right? Which would you have chosen? Would you have gone for the immunity challenge or for the mountain of pizza?
Jake, you know I would have eaten that pizza.
Oh, eat that pizza.
There's
There's a whole mountain worth.
There was a great moment where they started and people came over to the pizza, and Dave was just kind of staring at it and very softly went, "I wanted that."
It's a very relatable moment from our good friends, the folks at Survivor.
Also,
on
they had
CBS.
ice cold beers and root beers, apparently.
Yeah. I always think it's interesting who goes for that and who doesn't. Because this time it was Lauren, Victoria, Wentworth, and Ron. All of whom, I guess had pretty good standing, but man, it's immunity, you know?
Yeah,
It's a real Sophie's choice. on
I feel
Survivor.
like it's always a kind of hubris to sit out the immunity challenge.
Although-
especially Lauren absolutely could win that kind of challenge.
She could, but also remember, she can't even eat rice, so I'm sure that
Oh.
any calories she can take in, she's going to take.
Yeah, you're right. Actually, I was thinking about that when I was watching the episode. It's like, oh, good for Lauren. She's going to be able to eat something.
Yeah. And I'm always going to pick a mountain of pizza over a bowl of rice, personally. I mean,
I don't
just
know,
love-
man.
You don't think so? You'd rather
Yeah, I
have some
think I'll take
bland
the
white
rice.
rice? Some bland white rice that was boiled in a pot that also cleaned someone's underwear.
Yeah, pizza too spicy for me.
Pizza too spicy. Yes. Agreed. Man, I swear, I feel like we've been recording this episode for 20 minutes already, and I just checked the time, and it's been about 8.
It's been about 8 minutes, yes.
Cool. Happy 420.
Yeah, 421.
421, Easter, baby. The pizza thing we talked about that already. Oh, and then during the challenge, a butterfly landed on War Dog in probably the best moment of this episode. This was
that
really
was
the
great.
peak. This was the climax, and everything after this was the descending action. Is that right? Am I remembering high school English class correctly?
Falling action, or denouement, is the French word for it.
Ooh. Yeah, well, some of us took Spanish in high school.
Well,
so-
I mean, also if you took a class that covered that, they call it the denouement.
we took... What was that class we took in middle school together? Speech and drama?
Oh yeah,
I think we learned about that in that class.
yeah. Well, one of us learned about it. Apparently,
Okay. Well, that I deserved that. Okay, so Aurora wins the challenge. Good for her. Because, she was the target. Back at camp, the group of 6 now plan to vote out David, but the Devids plan to vote for War Dog. Victoria agrees to Devin's plan, and then David convinces Aurora. Then David pitches Julie and says, I don't want to play the I've played Survivor card before, but I've played Survivor before. This was a bad look for David Wright, I think.
yeah.
In my observation of the show. So it's David and Devins versus Kelly Wentworth again,
Yeah, kind of.
I guess. Same as it ever been. I was close.
Once in a lifespan, same as it ever
Once-
been.
Okay, so Julie and Ron are the swing votes this time around, and then we go into the
Just
first-
like Kevin Costner.
Yeah. How many times has there been a swing vote in this Survivor podcast that we do where you haven't referenced the Kevin Costner movie?
I don't think that there has ever been a time that I haven't referenced that movie when it happened.
It's good. It's a very good bit, and I hope you keep doing
Yeah,
it.
David is. I'd say David is like Dennis Hopper. And Kelly
Uh-huh.
Wentworth is like Kelsey Grammer.
I couldn't disagree because I have not seen that movie.
My favorite Nelly song, Kelsey Grammer.
Okay, at Tribal Council, Devin says that he is playing a loyal game now and that he and David have asked for help because they feel in trouble and hope that somebody will help them. Julie continues the plane metaphor of the season by saying that she is now on her own plane. Here's the thing. I think, like
Enough
every
of
metaphor...
these.
I feel like this is very similar to every metaphor that they make in Survivor every season where it's super forced, but I've come around on this one because it reminds me a lot of a little television show called Lost.
This is a good point.
Okay. So Ron says that he and Julie don't like that they were given the hard sell, and David points out that he is talking specifically about War Dog when he says that because his brand is loyalty, and then the Lesu 3 laugh at him. I'm so confused by this season's edit because it's like, who has a winner's edit? Because every single person they've edited is in like a you're annoying and everyone hates you kind of way. Which is fun, but also like, who's gonna win now?
Yeah, I don't feel like I have a handle on it. I thought they were giving Dave the winner's edit for a while there.
Yeah, until they like all laughed at him for like being sneaky.
He's not even that sneaky. He's been trying to survive most of the game.
But that's people's perception of him, is that he has been sneaky because after they all laugh at him, War Dog says, "You're a squirmer and a great talker at Tribal, and in my opinion, that's why you have to go."
Well, War Dog's been a worse version of that, though. That made me really annoyed because War Dog isn't even hiding it from people. War Dog just openly is like constantly, even though he's not in most alliances, trying to tell people what to do.
It seemed like War Dog's character there was edited in a way where he felt more like a hero and David felt more like an obstacle. Which is interesting.
Yeah, part of me was like, man, if they don't get War Dog out soon, and that's bad.
Well, we'll get to predictions.
God, I don't want him to win.
I don't think there's any risk of that happening. You know, we have a segment specifically for this point I was going to make, but like, I don't think that War Dog really has any strong allegiances after this episode. Like, yeah, he made a big move, a couple big moves, but like, he burned everyone in doing that.
Yeah, and he really hasn't played closely with anyone all year.
Yeah.
All year, all game.
Whatever.
All month that they were on Survivor.
Who gives a shit? I don't see War Dog winning after this episode.
I certainly hope not.
We'll get more into War Dog later. At one point in my notes, I wrote, David makes a great speech. I don't remember what the speech was about, what his point was. But
he was the one who's talking about a easy vote versus a hard vote.
Was that this one?
Yes.
Okay. Wentworth is asked if her alliance will stay together on this vote, and she says that she is, quote, confident.
Uh-oh.
I was very upset for the rest of this episode after she said that. So War Dog received 2 votes, and then David received the remaining 8, and David, of course, makes his way to Extinction, where they all hang out and get clues and go hunting for whatever this next
Yeah, this is where the
will
second
be.
episode starts.
Well, I mean, I understand why you think that, Thomas, but it's actually all in the same episode. They did the Tribal Council, and then he went to
The island, so that's where the episode normally ends. So it
Right,
ended,
right,
but
but
then
this
they
is like
aired
a-
another one.
It's like a special thing. They do
I
this
thought
on
it was
a
kind of
regular
weird that they aired
do
another
this
one
at
because they don't
least
usually do
once-
that. But
They do this at least once a season, every season, and we've been doing this for like at least
Yeah, it's-
3 years.
it's 2
now.
episodes.
You should be familiar with this at this point. Like you understand that this was one
Jake,
single episode.
I'm
right?
familiar with it. They do the thing where they do 2 episodes in a week sometimes.
Right. Yeah, definitely. So they all go hunting for clues on Extinction. David finds an advantage for the next immunity challenge that he can gift to anyone still in the game. And then he says that he is endangered, not extinct. That's a good quote. I understand
he's
why they
full of
brought
them.
David back. Yeah. Do you think David's going to win?
I kind of hope he does.
I wouldn't be upset, but I don't see it happening at this
No,
point.
I don't think he's going to win.
Yeah. Okay, next immunity challenge. I loved this episode, and it was a single episode, Thomas, but I loved it because it was just like big thing to big thing. There was not a lot of downtime at the camp to like figure out where everyone was aligned. It's just like immunity, strategizing, vote. I mean, it was good. It's real quick, and that's good. I'm glad about it. Okay, here's what happened in the immunity challenge. They have to balance 5 balls and dimples on a paddle. Devins, though, only has to balance 4. So, that's good for him. Jeff then says, toss me one of your balls. It's very funny. So Devins wins immunity. Good for him. Back at camp, Julie once again targets Aurora, but War Dog has targeted Wentworth. He has gone up to everyone that he's going to need for this vote and had an incredibly brief conversation with each one of them. But Ron is not convinced. Wentworth says there is this calm, but it only takes one person to want to take me out. And then Aurora gives Ron her extra vote to establish trust. And then he immediately considers voting her out. I don't understand why Ron
what he
is
should have
still in
done.
this game.
That's
I
what you
hate
do when
Ron
someone
so
does
much.
that.
I mean, yes, I agree. That is a good move. I just wish it wasn't Ron who had to consider making that move.
We agree here. Ron sucks ass.
Yeah, and not in the fun way.
Could he be any more awful?
Fuck off! Oh my god. Okay, whatever.
Well, you didn't like that.
No, it was very good. I laughed very hard. It's just stupid. Ron sucks. Friends sucks. Matthew Perry. Was he in Extras or was that the other one?
No, neither of them were.
Episodes.
Oh, that was Matt LeBlanc.
Whatever, same fucking show.
Yeah, I always find myself mixing up Matt LeBlanc and Ricky Gervais.
Hey, they were both on an NBC sitcom that was very popular.
That's Ricky Gervais was on a BBC sitcom that was very popular.
Was Ricky Gervais never on The Office?
He made a single cameo, but I would not describe.
So
That-
I'm correct.
The way
when
that
I
you
say
described
that
it was
both Ricky
misleading,
Gervais-
and you know it.
I'm just saying, I am, technically speaking, right.
Like if you were talking about like Paul Rudd, and you were like, he was on a very popular NBC sitcom.
He was.
People would be like, he had a short run on Friends. What are you talking about?
Yeah, people talk about that. Now he's Ant-Man. Now he's going to climb up Thanos' butt next week and save the
Make him
world.
big again. I wish that was Ant-Man's entire thing, was just killing people by going
Crawling up their butts. It would really kill the Ant-Man franchise because
What
the
crawl
end
up
would
your butt
always
and
be the
die?
same.
I
but
think it was Paul Rudd.
I love it. Okay, where are we in this episode? Oh, Ron has the extra vote now. That'll be interesting going forward, I guess.
Guys, where are we in this episode?
Oh, good question. Lost. Here's where we are in this episode. It's a little segment we call Wildlife Shots. No, that's the point where you sing along, Thomas.
Yeah. Well,
There we go. There was a rat, there was a black-tip reef shark, there were birds, there were crabs, there was a hermit crab, there was dolphins. I know you love the dolphins, Thomas, whenever they show up.
sure, yeah.
There's also the butterfly that interrupted War Dog in that
Wonderful.
immunity challenge.
It was
What?
an absolutely delightful
Oh,
wildlife
yeah.
shot.
Yeah. It's what we call, happens every once in a while, a wildlife action shot. It's a favorite around here. It's called a Fijian swallowtail. Do I need to explain what a wildlife action shot is? I feel like we haven't had that since Game Changers.
Well, it's
Or-
where an animal interferes with something in the game.
Yeah. It's not just like B-roll.
Yeah.
I feel like people get it. Anyway, the Fijian swallowtail is 9 to 10 centimeters long, or wide, whatever. It's a member of the Papilionidae family. That was the first time I tried pronouncing that word, and I feel like I did a
it
great
sounded
job.
like you'd been saying it your whole life. I would never have guessed if you didn't say anything.
They're mostly black with a thin white stripe at the back of their wings. It is considered common and not threatened. That's great news.
You know who did feel threatened, though, was War Dog.
Yeah, that's why I lost that immunity challenge. Did you see Stephen Fishback's tweet about that?
No, I did not.
What a surprise. I knew you were going to say that. He said that if War Dog had not been distracted by that butterfly, he could have won immunity, which meant Aurora could have been voted out, which meant David would have been at the next tribal council, which means Kelly Wentworth would still be in the game.
You could call it the
And then-
butterfly effect.
And then he called it the butterfly effect. Yeah. It's good. It's good. It's a good bit. Oh, and then it's the next tribal council. Devin says that when you're the one who will be voted out, things are too easy. Wentworth says that blindsides are always necessary, and War Dog quickly agrees. Jeff asks why so few advantages have been played, and Devin says that they all figure that the advantages are on the edge of extinction this season. And then somebody says, I wrote this quote in my notes, but forgot to attribute it to anybody. Maybe you'll remember it, Thomas. Somebody says, when you're too aggressive, you become a threat. Do you remember that quote?
Vaguely.
And so I think it's an important quote for this season because it seems like anytime anybody makes a big move, they are then voted out.
So you think that is also going to befall War Dog?
I wouldn't be surprised.
You know who hasn't, though, when they made a big move, because they were very subtle about it, which I think gives them a very good shot to win this, is Victoria.
I do not disagree with you. I think Victoria is playing a fantastic game.
She has been an active player without drawing much attention to herself.
Yeah, let's finish up this episode and then talk about how great Victoria is at the game of Survivor.
Yeah, the second episode that we're
So
covering.
Kelly Wentworth does not play her idol.
I couldn't believe it. I absolutely could not believe it.
They were setting it up so well, only to break my heart, and I was mad. I'm still mad.
I don't know what she was thinking.
I don't know. Honestly, she got too confident. That's what happened.
I guess it was like, oh, Aurora's an easy vote. We can finally get her or whatever.
Yeah. And I think very good job by the producers to, because you're not as inundated with the Survivor culture fandom as I am, but like Tribal Council goes on for like 2+ hours every time. So I'm sure that they ask these questions every single time, like, oh, why have no more idols been played? Like, why are so few advantages being played? But this time it, like, helped the story, so of course they put it in the episode. But I bought it. I was so ready for Kelly Wentworth to play her idol, and then she didn't, and I am, 4 days later, still so mad.
It was a big fuck up on her part.
Yeah. I hope this, like, lights a fire under Lauren. And she
She's got to play for herself now, you know.
Well, yeah, she doesn't have the shield of Kelly Wentworth anymore, and she recognizes how easily somebody with an idol can be played. So I'm sure she'll be on her toes moving forward. So Kelly Wentworth takes the torch and goes to the edge of Extinction, and then reveals that she had an idol, and that Lauren has the Manchester United idol, which might be a bad move on Kelly Wentworth's part.
Might be.
It's a lot of people are talking about it on the Survivor Reddit. So Thomas, we were talking about Victoria's.
No, Jake, I haven't read it.
I'm surprised we continue to do this podcast every week sometimes.
With the point that we're just antagonizing each other.
I listened to last week's episode and I was like, I don't think there's ever any point where we're on the same page. We're only trying to infuriate each other.
That's the charm of the show.
And that's the charm of the show. Okay, so Victoria, we've said, is playing a very good game. She previously, up until last week, was tied for first place with Gavin, as being the only two people who have voted correctly at 100% of their tribal councils. Gavin has, after this episode, dropped to second place. Victoria, though, still in first place. The only person with 100% voting record up until this point.
Impressive.
Pretty impressive. Victoria's number 1, Gavin's number 2. War Dog and Ron are now tied for third. Victoria. I'm a stupid idiot. I'm reading these notes off this page and it says Lauren and I said Victoria. Lauren is now voting at 2/3 of the tribal councils correctly, so she is in 5th place, previously 6th place. Currently in 6th place, previously 9th place is Rick Devins, previously in 7th place, now tied for last is Julie, and previously in last place, and still in last place is Aurora.
He's just kind of there.
Julie and Aurora are voting at 60% of the tribal councils correctly.
Okay.
Not great. Anyway. Let's get into the points.
Yes.
Now. So I listened to last week's episode. We forgot to predict anything.
Oh man, we did, didn't we? Did you just go based on our previous predictions?
I just went with our post-merge person. So Victoria for you, Lauren for me. We both got a point for those two. And then I figured we would both say they would both go to Extinction. So you are now at 36 points, and I'm at 40 points.
Jake, I will say the last time that we predicted stuff, I did say pizza. You can look that up.
I can't. Here's why I'm gonna say no.
No, you're going to give me that point, is what you're going to do. Because I was going to say pizza again.
But you didn't. And the way the prediction segment works is if you predict something one week, it's for the next week.
No.
And second point, you predicted it for a reward, not a temptation at immunity.
Temptation still counts for reward. It is always counted for reward.
Does it?
Yes.
Does it? Why didn't you bring it up last time we recorded then? When we were in your home. Just saying.
What are you talking about?
Last week when we recorded, we were in your home. So If you were so concerned about the pizza at the immunity challenge, you should have brought it up. The fact that
No,
you didn't
you,
means you
Jake,
lost
you
out
were
on the
going to
point.
give me this point.
No, I'm not going
You were
to.
going to give me this point.
I only have a 4-point lead on you, and there are 4 episodes
Yes,
left.
and you're
I
going to
can't
give me the point.
I cannot give up points right now. Here's the compromise I'm willing to give. If you correctly guess the reward this week, I will give you the point for pizza last week.
No, fuck off.
I think that's a good compromise.
No, it's not a good compromise.
Why not?
Because you know I'm not going to predict it right.
No, the whole point is of the reward prediction is that anybody could get it right at any point. You could here's the compromise. You can be as vague. We have rules about vagaries with reward.
No, Jake.
You can be as vague as you want.
No,
I will
I'm not
give you the
playing this
pizza
game.
point.
I'm not playing this game with you.
Okay, then I'm not giving you the point for
You're
pizza.
giving me the point.
Well, I'm not giving you.
What's our total point count stand right now, according to you?
You can literally make. Okay, here's what I'll do for you. I will give you first choice for every prediction, and I will not choose the same thing. So you could swing it so that you could be in the lead after this week, because you are at 36, I'm at 40.
I'm at 37, you're at 40, and we just keep going like we normally do.
Okay. Who's winning reward? Who's receiving the reward, I should say.
Man, they haven't done like a reward in like
It's been at least, I mean, the
I
last,
think the last
episodes
two.
they haven't. So
they did the
been 3
Temptation
episodes.
one, and then they just didn't do one the week before that.
Okay. So who's getting the reward?
Gonna say Gavin.
Um,
Is this next week the Loved Ones?
I don't think it's Loved Ones. I think Loved Ones will probably be the next week.
Yeah, makes sense.
Loved Ones, I don't know if they're going to do a Loved Ones this year, because if it's not this week, I'm thinking the next week is going to be the Extinction Redemption Challenge.
They could still do both.
But
The
then
Redemption
if
Challenge didn't take them very long last time.
Well, yeah, but that implies that anybody could be in the game at that point, which means they would have to fly all of those people out.
Maybe they'll do that next week. Who knows?
I don't know. This season's so weird with the edit. I don't know. So you said Gavin's winning reward.
Yes.
I will say, I think Victoria.
Sure.
Just because, like, I don't think anybody has any reason to be against her at this point. What will the reward be? And this is a big reward for you, Thomas. This is a 2-point worthy reward for you.
Well, I'm already at 37, so, you know. I'm going to say pizza.
I love it. Great choice.
No, boy, what do I think they're going to have?
You don't pick tools to build a shelter right now.
Yeah, that sounds about right. They also had booze this last week. They don't usually do that 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, maybe not.
Gonna say they haven't done coffee yet this season, have they?
Oh, good point. I don't think they have.
I'm gonna say coffee.
Okay. I think that's a good choice. I'm gonna say steak. Or is steak a later? Steak might be later. I'm gonna stick with steak. Whatever.
Yeah, is one of them gonna shit themselves and have to
Yeah.
leave? That's the question.
I talked to my mom about Joe, who couldn't shit himself today on the telephone. It was great. It was a great conversation. Who's winning immunity? Take all the time you need.
It's tough. I feel like I never have a handle on who's actually gonna win immunity. Have any of us successfully predicted that? Like
I don't
all
think
year?
either of us have all season.
I am going to say... Aurora wins again.
I mean, she's got the best record so far, so good choice. I will say right now, I'll pick real quick. I'll say, Lauren, I guess. You've said a couple times this episode year when you mean season.
Yes.
But I just realized this is the first season of the year, so
It's
you are
true.
correct in either.
I am technically correct. The best kind
Yeah.
of correct.
Exactly. Who will be voted out?
I'm going to say War Dog.
I know I said that I wasn't gonna.
I got the point, so you don't need to worry about that.
Okay, then I'll say War Dog also. And will they go to Extinction?
Yes.
I'm gonna also say yes. Okay, so that's that. I didn't get a text from my mom. This is the segment where we read texts from my mom about Survivor.
Yeah.
We had a full-on conversation. We talked for like 40 straight minutes about Survivor, which is longer than we talk about Survivor on this show.
It's true.
To be completely honest. She is glad that Kelly Wentworth was voted out. She doesn't remember everybody's name who's left in, which is fair because I also don't.
I forget Gavin's name a lot,
Yeah,
which is a shame because he's played pretty well.
he has played pretty well. Not as well as Victoria.
No.
What else did she say? She doesn't know what's going on in Extinction Island, so I guess she wants more of that. And she was very happy when I said that I think Aubrey is going to come back and win the season. So, that's my mom's thoughts.
Always nice to have that input. I could totally see Aubrey coming back and winning it.
I think it makes for the best story for this season. They just had it was just the 3-year anniversary of Ty not playing the idol for Scott Pollard. I saw that on Reddit. Isn't that exciting?
Very exciting. A lot of not playing idols this season.
Yeah.
People are a little too confident.
I'm wondering what. I'm sure that they told them about the new idol nullifier, that could be a thing. So maybe they're trying to hold on to them.
But like
tighter?
nobody has that. No one's used it.
Well, we haven't seen that, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it couldn't possibly be in play later.
It's true. I think it's stupid for people not to play their idol just because they think a nullifier is going to happen.
Well, they're probably just more, I don't know, nervous about it.
Oh, maybe.
I would like to see a successful idol play as much as we complain about idols on this show. Like, I do like when they're played successfully.
Yeah, you don't want them getting played successfully too often, but when it happens, it's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like the people not doing stuff because people have an idol is the most frustrating part of it. Like, when people actually play it, I feel like I'm always excited.
Well, you have to see it from the person who doesn't have the idol's perspective. Like, they have to play around that. So that's
Jake, I don't have to do anything.
You're right. You don't have to. You've made clear that you don't want to play Survivor. I told my mom about your idea for a season where one tribe is people who are really excited to play Survivor and the other tribe is people who are not excited. They're friends who are not excited to play Survivor, and she loved the idea. On the challenge, nobody was eliminated, and I forgot what else happened. So that's fun. Anyway,
What was the reveal? You were going to reveal something. You said you had 2 reveals.
The first one was that we forgot to predict anything last week.
Ah, okay.
And the second one was actually the next thing I was going to bring up. What were we just talking about before I mentioned the thing about the challenge?
The season where one tribe doesn't want to play.
No. I don't remember at this point. Whatever. Anyway, we have been trying to get Season 40 to be Heroes vs. Villains 2 for a very long time with the hashtag HVV2. The rumors for Season 40 are out. Again, not necessarily official, but these are the rumors, and they come from a reputable source. Season 40 is rumored to be all winners.
Wait, they just did a season of that.
They did. They definitely didn't just do a season of that. They've never done that.
No, that's true. They did Game Changers or whatever,
They did
which
Game
was kind of
Changers,
like that.
which was kind of a bust. People want all winners, and
Why would you want all winners? I don't want that. I want Heroes versus Villains too. God damn it!
I do too. I really do. I think the only way to make an all winners season feel legitimate is if Sandra wins again. Because any other time that a winner wins in an all winners season, it's like that second win for them isn't the same as Sandra's second win. Because somebody was going to get a second win. Other than Sandra, who was going to get a third, you know?
Yes, yeah.
I don't feel like it's going to mean as much.
Do you think they're going to bring Sandra back?
They'll absolutely bring Sandra. They have to bring Sandra back. And she said that she'll do it again anytime they ask, so that's good.
She's got to defend her record.
I would be so happy if she won. That would be really impressive. I would just be happy to see her again, because
it'd be good.
You can follow us on Twitter at DYWSLN. That's our Twitter. Me, I'm at Jake Scheidel. Thomas,
I'm at Tom Not Tom.
Yep. You can follow my Wrestling Universe Twitter.
No, well, you don't have to.
You could, though.
Well, I mean, don't feel any pressure to do it.
Look, Hell in a Cell just happened. There's some new stuff happening.
Hell in a Cell did not just happen, Jake. It's April.
No, but in my universe, it did. Because it's at my own pace. So the other one, TLC, is coming up, so that'll be exciting.
Sure.
It's a pretty fun game. AJ Styles and Andrade Cien Almas are...
I love the pay-per-views in your universe because they take like 5 hours, all of them do.
Yeah.
They're all like WrestleMania.
Like a real pay-per-view. It's a good time. Everybody loves it. What's up next? Oh, review us on Apple Podcasts.
5 stars.
Thanks. Have a great Sunday.
Deuces.
Making a distinction between life and law. Odds favor the former when you wear a mask. Masochism forming in the reflection, and I'm trying not to turn into a psychopath.
Are you recording?
Better to have lost it than to find it tossed out. That's what I'm telling myself.
Hurry up. You gotta talk about
Okay, I'm recording. We can talk about 3 Shot Thursday now.
Let's talk about 3 Shot Thursday. It's great. Hey, if you didn't go to college with us, here's what 3 Shot Thursday was. We had a friend who wasn't able to take a full shot at once. So we invented a weekly holiday called Half Shot Saturday. That then became Full Shot Friday to make fun of that same friend. And then that evolved into 3 Shot Thursday, which was 3 shots taken as if it were 1 shot, and it was brutal, and everyone hated it. But it was a good time because college, like Asher Roth, I love college. You know? Is that a pretty good description of
I'm trying
college,
to remember it.
Central Michigan University in the late
I want to stay in college for the rest of
2010s.
my life, or whatever the fuck
like
the
Eminem.
lyrics are there.
I don't think they're important. I think it's more like a vibe kind of song. Like, I love college. Hey, it's oh wait, let's start this show for real though.
Sure, this show about this Asheroth podcast.
The Asher Roth podcast.
I can't believe we managed to cover 2 episodes in 45 minutes.
God.
Glad to hear it.